It's time to get going. It's time to dive straight in towards this first pistol round. And, well, Honoris not really in favor of the odds. They are currently the other way around on Vi.gg. It seems like Team Secret is the absolute favorite.
Yep, UI just has to be switched up in a moment, and that will obviously be fixed by then. It is still a big question mark, you know. Team Secret, they do have certain advantages. Statistical, they have Anarchas, they have some really solid players, so we'll have to see how that actually gets played out.
Here is that possible B-rush coming in. Percy having a very long stroll with that smoke coming in towards the heaven position. But look at the players from the side of Honoris. They're currently in the underpass. Will have a very quick flank to come in. And indeed, they're already running down. Taz standing by. The bomb plan will not be denied. He's too late. At least the kill comes in from his teammate, as now we have a very good pressure towards that gravity area as well. USB being picked up by SMF, and he's standing by waiting for Honoris to come, but he could actually even go towards heaven. He's just a little bit wary of a possible flank. USB coming in from Synopsy. He will not actually get one. It's Percy with the double, and Taz tries to go for the refrag. He will get one, but then will be traded out by, of course, a crossfire from the side of Team Secret. A very strong and very well-played pistol round. They're now already 1-0 ahead.
Off to a good start for Team Secret then, or... even, yeah, Honoris. Gotta, actually, the UI is, it's the start of the day, you know, it's always,
it's because they always try to mess us up by swapping sides when they win the knife. Why would you?
Yeah, you know,
just,
why make our life easy, right?
In the Benelux, there have been teams, for instance, the former Diffuse kids, nowadays Lowland Lions, that had said, we always try to start on the T side, preferably mainly on that first map, just to get a momentum going. You can rush, you can play slow, you can do whatever, and that is a side where it's not that hard, or at least it's not that detrimental if you do lose some rounds. So you still have some chance to come back later on the favored side. Arcas now with a slight attack onto her Stomp, who's stomping his way back towards A long and will fall back later on as well. And it's going to be an interesting round. So far, Secret not really aggressive, but will they be able to take care of Grucha as well?
That's the question to ask. He would have a strong position there. If he gets a critical frag or two, then he might be able to deny the entire Team Secret advance. But then he still does have to get the frag. He still does have to manage. And will he manage? That is the question. See in a moment now, he should be able to hear the stats and line it up. But no, he doesn't. Percy gets the frag on him. Initially, that opens up Connector now. They should be able to go back onto water, where it's going to be Samy's chance to hold it off, make sure that they can't push further onto the site and that they don't stand much of a chance.
Well, we will just see, and again, a very slow push coming in from the side of Team Secret. In the pistol, of course, you rather go aggressive. You don't want to give those CTs a lot of chances to get anywhere near your players. As we are now biding our time, another frag coming in from Percy. Sinopi also with the follow-up frag. The Galil spray, of course, a little bit harder than the AK, but at least will come through. With only 2 players alive in this situation, most likely going for that save, or possibly an exit frag as well. Taz standing by with the Deagle at close range, but so far there's no real chase coming in, but Snopsy is tempted to go for it, just as the Polish legend now falls back a little bit.
And a shame for a Polish legend like that to not really be allowed the chance to shine, although he does get a lovely 1-deke, Synopsy out of the equation, but not much of a chance left for Honoris at this point. They have to take this loss and give Team Secret the better start.
We're waiting. Arcas is now trying to hunt down. Will go down as well. Taz actually dealing a decent chunk of damage. We'll get a Mach 10 right now. We'll upgrade, of course, to the Galil as well, as it seems to be a little bit better than that SMG. The bomb will explode. Percy only has 1 HP. Is happy to still stay alive, but it will be Team Secret now 2-0 up, as it seems like they're starting off well on that T side. So far, playing both aggressive and a little bit more slow, waiting for Team Secret to possibly make some mistakes. But Team Secret will be on that eco. We'll have, of course, that Galil, that Scout as well, and maybe an upgraded Deagle thrown out to one of his teammates, as Semi is also now trying to upgrade to one of those pistols. It's going to be only a USB on towards Neo, but he got 2 flashes, so he's sort of a team player, right?
Yeah, you know, it's important to do that. It's important to make sure that you can support the rest of the team. Oh, aggressive push onto water. Stomp also trying to take long control and succeeding for now. But in the end, it's Synopsy that actually gets the initial frag. Him taken out. Look at this engagement. Stomp going down, though. Percy takes him out.
But I'm not sure. Neo has those 2 flashes, has now only expended 1, and that's rather late. Not really sure why he didn't do that either for a long push or also with that water take. Now the PP buys and the P shooter will get a kill as well from Red's faction, as Sinapy will get another one on towards Sammy. Only Neo alive, so alone. And it's a very dark day for him. Just biding his time,
so sad.
having a USP in hand, also flashbang in his pocket, trying to rotate towards B. There's some players going there, so he might be in luck. With Synapse being very low, there will be a chance for them to go down. But, well, Red Faction will lead a charge, Galil in hand, and one shot would do it if they do spot Neo. And I believe they've just seen his shoulder. I'm not really too sure. And indeed, they have Red Faction with the kill, 3-0 for Team Secret. And they're doing a real good job.
And so they have a good chance to keep this streak going, to keep it up, and with that, to make sure that Honoris gets pushed down quite hard and that they don't stand much of a chance, of course. It is the T side for Team Secret, which you would say is a little bit less favored on Overpass, but they are managing just fine so far. And as you pointed out earlier, they have the chance to really, or well, they have the luxury of being able to lose a round or two. It's not the end of the world, and especially now you can see their reserves building up as well. They really won't, well, it won't matter that much to them, except for, of course, the lost round, but they can buy back. And Stomp opens this up well. Anarch is taken out, and now, who knows, maybe the start of something great for Honoris.
Utility being used as Honoris is actually playing rather aggressive so far on that underpass position, something we don't see teams do all that often. Neo standing by for Nate will get a decent tag down towards Synapse, but he will go in. Yet lose the fight, another 50-50 going the way of course, Honoris. Now on their first buy round, having that AWP and just playing it very slowly. Very smart as well, using their utility at least, as we're now waiting for Team Secret to do something in return, because so far this round has really gone south. They have some utility, they have a chance to take that A side if they do move in as a unit. 2 players standing by, of course 3 more on that B side, but Stomp still here. AWP will get another flag on towards Red's faction, meaning there's only 2 more alive. Percy is low. SMF is maybe the player to do it. I'd almost dare to say that Team Secret has no more chance, but as they get a kill on towards the upper from Honoris, they will make it possibly work. As also that Molly is burning down Grucha. Problem is he will get a second as well, going through the smoke 2 times on towards Percy. And that means the first round is in favor of that CT side, slowly getting in there. But it has been a little bit of a struggle so far.
And sometimes things don't go as swimmingly as you might want them to. Honoris then, with that struggle that they put up for Team Secret, managed to get the first round, and who knows, maybe one of many. They might just be a little bit of a late bloomer, might just need a little bit of time to get into things. It is, of course, the, well, first map of the day, the first match as well for both these teams, and, well, for us as well. But we'll see. We'll see. Maybe that is a difference that is being made, or maybe they will just sadly but surely fluke it.
Well, Red Faction, of course, moving up once more through underpass, trying to contest, but Stomp rotating towards that short area, not really expecting that kill from Synapse, who's just moved under his scope. Player close by will take an aim as well. There will be Sammy. Grucha also going on the aggression, will fall, but still there is 1 frag going back for Sammy. A 4-on-3 situation, the push going towards that A side. Only 1 player standing behind that truck. Molly, of course, to come in. He will be pushed back, and it's going to be Taz to be hurted by, of course, that Molly burning at his feet. He will peek at the right time. It's going to be Sammy with the frag. Taz to be traded out, but still it is a favorable position for the side of Team Secret. Soon to come in with the plant as well.
Molly on bank there is good, can deny Sammy some movement speed, and they should be able to get the plants in now, and they do. With that, a nade comes in, does deal a little bit of damage on Anarchez, but it's not the end of the world so far. Sammy pushing up slowly but surely. Has to hunt for that first frag to even it out and make a bit of a chance for Honoris to actually, well, defend that side or retake it, but it looks like they might not even bother anymore.
Well, it seems like they're going for that save. At least they have something going with them. And hopefully, in the next round, they can still get a sort of buy going, or they'll just go for some pistol upgrades together with these weapons. No utility, but at least a defuse kit. It's something. Yet it isn't all too great, as Team Secret once more now takes a round 4-1 in their favor. And that means that so far they're doing really well on this T side. Of course, Honoris was able to start on CT after winning that knife, so you'd expect them to eventually bounce back strong. So far, they've really been struggling And it seems like they're forcing it up, dropping 2 weapons, and of course buying what else they can as well.
They have to make the best out of it, really. It's a shame for them, but really, inventive accounting is a part of Counter-Strike, you know?
That was actually a very good buy. I didn't expect this well.
That's not too shabby,
but of course,
no.
their loss bonus is pretty decent because, of course, it's not being resetted nowadays. And, well, it hurts to see that Honoris is now losing with, of course, 2 legends in their midst. But they need to step it up a little bit better. They had an AWP on towards Stomp. That has been working really well for him so far. But I'm curious to see if he will get another opening frag or if he will be taken out himself.
We'll have to see in a moment. Molly gets thrown off the water now. Taz tries to go for the wallbang, but he doesn't really hit anything. Synopsy, however, does get to cancel out the Molly there. Also gives some intel, obviously, to Taz. Makes him, well, gives him that knowledge that there is one player there that he might have to watch out for. That could be a nasty surprise later on. So far, though, Team Secret plays it out a bit slower this time round. Not really going on any site just yet, and the bomb slowly but surely making its way past Fountain here.
But it could actually sneak on towards a flank of these players at long.
Boy.
They might go for some aggression soon, however, as Stomp is, of course, already standing by his teammate, playing anti-flash, of course, also covering the back if they do want to move outside of the toilet area. However, Team Secret now setting up their utility possibly as well to go for that A take, but Molly's will be flying towards B. It might actually prompt a little bit of a fake as now Semi is going to be hit by the Molly as well. That's a little bit weird. But Grucha now with the flank will miss it. Shots, it's a big choke, and of course Anarkes is standing by. Gets a kill in return. Tess now sneaking on towards the side, getting one, but will be traded out as well by the Israeli Opper. They're still not in the flank. It's going to be stopped at the party area, but no players from Secret actually contesting whatsoever. The bomb has been planted on towards the truck, so there's no real reason to have a lot of force going towards the toilets area. And we do guess, or at least we anticipate, Team Secret to win this round in a 4-on-3 after plant position. SMF getting the first redefaction with the follow-up. Only one more standing. It's Stomp for the AWP. He gets an exit and now tries to get away as well.
Yeah, with that, there isn't much more of a chance of a defuse coming in. It's a 3v1, so the best Stomp can hope for is to preserve this AWP, maybe get one more exit frag, which he should be able to get now in a moment, although it looks like Radafaction there is standing around the corner, or SMS even, and falling back. Not going to take the risk of running out there, and as you can see in that sign, Montag, Ruhetag. But we don't rest on Mondays, do we? We just keep casting.
But it's a Wednesday.
I know, but I was talking about, you know, when we first started out.
It's a Manic Monday, you know?
Manic Monday, even. Ooh, wow. And now, what's also maybe a bit manic is the fact that Honoris so far has still only managed to get 1 round. And that is a bit of a sorry state of affairs. And also their economy is starting to show it. It's only Stomp that really has a decent weapon. The AWP, obviously, that he managed to preserve. Now also...
Oh, come on. That's the worst moves I've ever seen. Percy now moving on. Will actually see a tag come down. It's SMF being tagged towards half HP. Stomp also being hit slightly. Percy moving in with the Mac 10 will go down. It's Semi and Neo both with a kill. It seems to be in favor currently for the side of Honoris. Winning on a possible pistol armor / eco, of course, saving that AWP from the previous round. Coming in clutch with 1 kill. The rest of the team can't be underestimated as Neo now gets 1 on towards Anarchist as well. SMF will fall. It's going to be 5-2, and well, that is what happens when you walk in towards a stack. And of course, I said walking, not running, because they were rather slow.
Yeah.
Giving a lot of opportunities for Honoris to either redistribute their forces, use their utility, and get some angles working for them.
I think it was also a case of certain frags just not being caught there. You saw one of the Team Secret players trying desperately to get the frag on the player at barrels, but did not succeed whatsoever. The spray down was just not there, didn't get a headshot whatsoever, and that also...
Mac 10 is hard.
Yeah, Mac 10 is hard, but even then, you know, he had so many shots, so many chances, but in the end, he had to let his life go and give it up. Team Secret, with that, losing a 2nd round so far, and who knows, maybe things aren't going too swimmingly just now.
MC standing by with Deagle wheel in hand so far, some UT being expended, and we do see Stomp now having to fall back as well. SMF is standing by, it's going to be another B take to come in, but now they need to get those frags. Neo standing in the smoke, trying to play the smart game, as SMF now takes down Semi. Another frags come in up towards Taz. It's going to be Neo spraying down 1, now he's behind the smoke, but that will dissipate. Trying to go for the Deagle, but he can't make it work. It's a 2-on-4, and well, not fighting means the rest of your team will be a little bit out of luck because, of course, there will not be any force going down. And you saw Team Secret just being in a more favorable position now, getting another frag, leaving only Stomp alive. Once more, he's the exit frag king. He's trying to go for more as he's baiting out shot, but he knows. And when there's the AWP from Honoris, he just needs to run, save that weapon, and bring it home for another round, as we do see Team Secret go to 6. And they needed to win this, otherwise they would have gone either on the eco or a force buy, which of course wouldn't really favor them, as SMF is standing by, spotting out Stomp as well, but he knows he shouldn't waste that AK. So they're playing the smart game. Team Secret really, really well managing their economy.
And we'll see now if Team Secret can actually keep managing. The economy is good for them, so the 2 players that they've lost aren't the end of the world. And Honoris so far not really managing to string too much together in this first half. But still, there are plenty of rounds to come. They still have plenty of chances as well. It all depends on how they're going to play it out. But so far, it's looking more favorable for Team Secret. They should be able to get this based upon, of course, the other factors that we highlighted beforehand. The statistics, the fact that Honoris, they haven't really had the best performance in the recent history of all their maps that they've been playing. So we'll see. Maybe they do manage to surprise us. Maybe they do manage to show us that they can win on Overpass.
Percy standing close by with the AK in hand. It's, of course, a new buy for the side of Honoris. Stomp actually having a lot of money in the reserve, and now also the opening kill on towards SMF, falling back via the underpass area. The spray from the player being there from Team Secret was quite a bit too late, as he already managed to get away. And now we have a 5-on-4, make that a 5-on-3, as we do see Grutcha also getting a kill, will be traded out by an aggressive off-peak from Anarchast. He's looking for more to equalize the score, almost takes down Sammy, but that's a very good tag. However, it deserved more, and now Taz is still playing a very annoying angle, usually very hard to peek, and it should be able to be traded out by the side of Honoris.
We'll see the smokes coming in from Synopsy towards Bins, and with that perhaps a good chance made. Anarchas in the meantime also manages to take out Stomp, but it's all going to come down to Taz here, and he gets the first frag. That is Synopsy out of the equation, but he does quite immediately get refragged by Ratifaction. And now there is still a chance to get on top of the site, although Sammy can prevent some things. It's a bit hectic. Those frags are going to and from. Ratifaction now looking towards toilets. He's afraid that someone might come on his back, but it's actually Bank, or well, Bins in this case, where Neo is coming from. And can the old legend surprise us? Now actually rotating to Bank, but he might run into Ratifaction before he knows it.
Look at the time, 15 seconds left. Ratifaction has to go for a plant, or at least fakes it. So now gets the angle on towards Neo, but he's just a little bit too quick. Saving the AWP as well for Stomp. It's going to be Honoris now on 3 rounds, but so far, still a very good T-slide start for the side of Team Secret. And, well, that will give him some confidence, of course, so far. On the previous 6 times they've played this map in the past 3 months, a 100% win rate, and I'm not really thinking they want to give that one away.
No, there's nothing quite like just seeing that lovely 100%, indicator there, seeing that you've been doing such a good job, well, a perfect job even, you could say. And that is definitely, well, a sort of point of pride almost, you could say. And with that, maybe, just maybe, they'll have a better chance, and they'll see if Team Secret now is going to keep that streak going, or if it is Honoris that is going to, well, knock them off the throne, so to speak.
Well, we're going to wait for Stomp once more, going on that aggression, as we do see SMF and his team trying to move up around toilets. Grutcha standing by with the M4 close by, will be flashed in and will get 1 kill before being traded out. Percy standing by at the right moment, and also not really being flashed himself. Utility, of course, being taken by the players that didn't have all too much, but Taz still at the long corner, not being contested, will get a spray down of 1 before being traded out. But Stomp still alive, takes down Percy. A 3-on-2 situation once more in favor of Honoris, and that plan that's taking a very long time. Nate, however, not dealing all too much damage, meaning we're now waiting for Honoris to peek in. Stomp, of course, the AWP being faring strong so far, but he needs to get another frag, or it will have to be Neo, the only player with a very well, maneuverable weapon, because we have 2 AWPs on the side of Honoris. Ooh, grabbing his utility at the wrong time. Will he be flanked? Indeed, it will be a good flank from Synopsy. Takes down 1. It's Sammy going down. But Neo still around with, of course, an M4 now moving in towards the aim. How did he not know that? Stomp, of course, with 1 in return, but look at the time. It's already ran out.
He doesn't have enough time.
To go for a little cheeky fake, or at least a bait. to get Honoris out and kill him in the end. It will be the round for the T side. However, Honoris at least dealt some damage.
So far, it definitely isn't looking like a stomp, at least.
Ah,
but seriously, though, Team Secret here, the problem being that even though they did get the match win there, and we've seen another critical flank coming in here from Synopsy, which a clean
why
headshot.
did Neo just run in like that? It's a little bit crazy. Maybe
you know, all the players, he might have already forgotten that he was there. You know, it happens sometimes.
Maybe he was banking on a player from the dumpster to peek as well.
From Bins, yeah,
because
maybe.
Of course, he was standing there. He could have actually gone for a fight, and there was a nade you might want to peek in front of. Well, we do see a mediocre force buy coming out from Honoris, and AWP on towards Stomp, of course, being saved, and once again getting that opening kill. SMF, however, takes down Grutcha, makes it back in towards a 4-on-4. And, well, Stomp is now all alone, and if there wasn't a smoke there, Honoris would have had that frag and would have had the advantage for Team Secret.
And the advantage is right the thing that Team Secret wants to preserve. We'll see now critical engagement here by Synopsy, but he doesn't manage to get a frag out of it. Just a serious bout of damage. Anarka is now pushing further up onto the site gradually, but it is Taz who's pushed up quite far on long. Anarkas might even be able to surprise him. He should have heard now, though, has that audio cue, but now might be surprised by Taz in his back. He's falling into Bank, and with that kind of pushing further through, Taz, though, he does have a good chance. Lovely 1D. Make it? No, not a second. It's an immediate refrag by SMF. And he takes out Taz now. Bomb site control is in the hands of Team Secret, slowly but surely. Utility sealing the deal, as Sammy here with his teammate is stuck behind the molly in front of Bank.
Biding their time, but the problem is there is no flank coming in from that toilets area, which will make it a little bit harder for the side of Honoris to actually get back on towards this side. Flashbangs coming out. They still have one more on the side of Stomp. It's going to be Sammy just going into the fast without any utility. However, SMF just gets to re-peek as Stomp is not really going that aggressive. Once more in a 1v1, and that bomb plant will actually favor him, as there of course will also be a flashbang. First fakes
Synopsy.
it, now will go for the stick, and of course Pros don't fake. It will be actually Synopsy peeking it at the right moment in time, you dare to say, but Honoris still had that defuse going for him. And they win the round on the CT side, and the Ninja defuse working out by just a millisecond. Team Secret just throwing that a little bit away. I'm not really sure why they went for that plant as well, because, well, they know the players will come from the back. They had a player actually coming from the underpass area themselves. Of course, maybe they were doubting there could have already been someone in that toilets area. But they themselves
came through toilets, so they knew that there wasn't anyone there. So that's maybe a sort of micromanagement issue. You know, that's a critical mistake there by Team Secret, of course.
Well, I think they expected to at least have a little bit of crossfire going. One player to survive long enough on long, but SMF got 2 kills and then got traded out because he went for an aggressive peek. Why would he? It was a 1v3 situation. There's no reason to. Because highlight reels, HLTV highlight reels. You know, you want to get on there. It's almost understandable. By the way, something. A technical pause coming in for a moment here from Honoris, of course. One thing I did just think about, you call that spot over there to the right of Stomp, we can see it right now. What do you call that? Dumpster.
Dumpster. Yeah, I call that bins.
But there are no bins there. It's just a big dumpster.
But it's a big bin. Is that just is that just my like?
No, that's your Belgian brain. It's a big dumpster.
My Belgian brain, or my fake English talkative way.
You know what? Team Secret has more games, of course. Their Rainbow Six team, of course, being for some time British, used to say, "Get in the bin."
Get in the bin. Yeah.
Well, then I can understand, but it's still a dumpster.
I'm gonna keep calling it bins. I'm sorry.
Crazy times. Molly's coming in. It will be an aggressive round towards that B side, coming in from Team Secret. Smokes being set up as well, as they are now slowed down themselves by the side of Honoris. Utility once more to be thrown out, but look at this stack already also in the underpass. It's a little bit of a repeat from what we saw in the pistol. There are also some pistols in hands for the side of Team Secret, getting the first 2 kills, but Sammy also getting 1 in return. However, CT pressure being set once more. Gravity is just indeed like that first round we saw in that pistol. Taz now trying to move up, but the spray from Synopsy will deal a lot of damage. Will get a kill also on towards Grutcha. Going to go for a second, but he's now completely flashed. Taz will make due of him. SMF once more with a kill, will try to go for more, but Percy in the flank. Also now upgrading to an M4. And we have another T-side round to come in. It's going to be 8-4 in favor of Secret. I'm curious to see how convincingly they can either win it or how close Honoris can make it, because so far the odds are not in their favor. They haven't posted a win rate on HLTV by not playing this map 3 times in the past 3 months. So we were really, really confused seeing as they went towards this
Confused
map.
and worried, I think, is the best way to put it.
It seemed to be their permaban.
Yeah, and then at the end, it seems that they just decided to ban Nuke instead. I will admit, right, Nuke, Train, Overpass, that's the other trio, the more tactical of maps. So I suppose Nuke is somewhat like Overpass in a certain sense. So I guess the ban is still a little bit sensible, and they still have one of the worst win rates, but it's an interesting, well, ban anyhow. Not as we anticipated. Stomp, in the meantime, however, does anticipate the players here. He gets the tags in, but is his follow-up good enough? Radifaction, in the meantime, takes out Taz. And so far, nothing really being achieved yet by Honoris here. Only a loss on their side, and also some severe team damage. Look at Grutcher here. Look at Stomp, who's also quite tagged, and he also is just one bullet away from losing his life.
Well, we do see Snopsy trying to feel the water as if it is maybe a little bit too hot or too cold, and the B side now also being tagged ever so slightly. At least Team Secret now has a player lead, but the damage being dealt makes it a little bit scary. Luckily, there aren't any frag grenades. Still the scout, and of course those pistols will be able to get some easy kills. Smoke being thrown, Snopsy will of course peek at that moment in time, and it means it's now a 5-on-3 follow-up not to come in. Sammy actually gets a double with his deagle. We'll have to reload soon, you dare to say, but he still has 5 as he had just some clean shots coming in. 3-on-3 situation, utility to be thrown out by the T side. They have to plan soon, but they also now lose Radifaction. And it's also the bomb being dropped, and that will make it really, really hard for him. Another kill for Storm, make it a second. And then we have SMF standing by the AK. All his lonesome, 10 seconds left on the clock, and he can't win this surely. Unless if they go peak really crazily. But Storm with 1 HP will get a third kill. And another round in for Honoris. And I'm daring to say that Stomp is so far the backbone for every round that Honoris has won.
Absolutely, he's really shown that he can get the important kills when they're required. Also back on this A site a few rounds earlier where when it was necessary, he actually managed to get the frags and stuck the defuse. So a player to really keep your eye on for Honoris. What do you think so far about Honoris, their performance? Are they performing better than you expected?
Well, of course, starting on that CT side, you would expect them to get a few rounds in, and if you look at how strong Stomp is currently on that AWP, once more getting the opening kill on towards Anarchast, it's not that crazy that, of course, they're winning those rounds. They just need to single the player out, and then they actually have a good chance. Deagle kills coming in, a little bit sloppy from the side of Team Secret, but at least it's 1 kill for the 2 that they've lost on this force buy. And it's quite interesting to see this force buy to come in. Of course, they then also have to force on towards the last round if they do manage to lose this one. The Radifaction getting a kill before going down. Same for Synopsy, as we only have SMF alive in a 1v3. But he has upgraded to an AK. At least it's something. At least he has got some utility and the bomb in his hands. Now trying to hunt down the players on the A side. There's one standing, there's one coming towards the bank area as well. And it will be over fairly soon. And indeed, Taz with the last frag, 8-6. Team Secret still in the lead. Of course, they will be at the end of this first half. But, well, they're losing their margin.
Exactly. It's always a tough game, you know. You want to actually pull off to the best of your abilities. You want to see how close you can get, how well you can actually do. But Honoris so far is actually taking on that advantage that they had and trying to lessen it more and more with each round. And they are succeeding. It all comes down to this last round of the first half now. Are they going to end it out with a only 1 round disadvantage? Or is Team Secret now going to come in clutch, especially with these pistols that they have and not much more, and actually show that they can still make it a 3-round advantage for their CT side?
Well, we're seeing some nades to come out, but so far no real damage. Of course, full armor on every player, apart from Synopsy and Percy. Without that head armor, possibly easy targets for an M4 to come in. Smokes to go towards the A side. There will be some mollies to counter it, however. Meaning that Stomp is actually now also a little bit blindsided. But he just uses it to make his own wall of smokes, be a little bit safer, try to stand on top of those boxes to get an angle. But it's risky. He's now also getting some support of his teammates. More smokes, more flashes, more mollies, everything being exploited as Stomp will peek in, will get another opening kill in towards this match. It's going to be Des with follow-up Stomp with another one before falling to SMF, but it's only Percy alive. It's a little bit slow compared to the rest of his team, and now in a 1v3 with 50 seconds left on the clock. P250 in his hands, trying to upgrade to a weapon, but so far that's not real close. So he does go down to Sammy, 8-7, and Honoris doing actually really well coming back so far.
I actually did put a 5 on vi.gg on Honoris, So maybe I am interested in seeing. Yep. Of course, there's just as much a chance that maybe that is going to go dramatically wrong, and that caster clash is going to look worse and worse by the second. But we'll see, right?
Don't stop believing.
No, absolutely
Hold on
not.
to that feeling. It's going to be Team Secret still in the lead, but of course we shouldn't forget that they're now going towards the, in theory, favored side. Winning the pistol would help them.
Yeah, it would help them, but I don't know. I'm really interested to see how this is going to be continued, because I do see it going quite wrong. A nice little hold here by Stomp, by the way, actually managing to survive and get 2 frags. That is something that you also need to look at. I think Stomp might actually be, you know, the reason why Honoris is actually doing this well. You called him the backbone of the team earlier, and I think the backbone and maybe also the hands holding up the rest of the team at the time.
Well, so far he has, I believe, 18 frags out of the 15 rounds we've played so far. If there's an open kill going in favor of Honoris, he's usually the guy to get it. The pistol, of course, it might be a little bit different, as we do see another aggressive B play to come in as well from the side of Honoris, just like we saw Team Secret do. Actually, the exact same strategy as well, as this smoke will go towards Heaven. The player will now drop down, of course, to be closer to the side. Gritcha now being flashed out is going to be the first kill for Synopsy, but Stomp, of course, with a refrag to come in. However, he has now fallen. Red Affection tapping away together with Honoris, leaving only Gritcha alive. It's going to be a grudge match, as he will go down eventually. And another pistol goes in favor of Team Secret. That's 2 already. And that usually just increases your chances to win the map as well.
Absolutely, and we'll see if they actually do extend it, though. There have been times where even if teams won their pistol round, it still went miraculously bad in the next one. Now, it is looking like Team Honoris isn't going to go for the buy here. They are just going to save it out. Of course, they didn't get a bomb plant, so it's a pretty sensible choice, I'd say.
Yeah, with the bomb plant, you can usually buy either 1 or 2 AKs, possibly Galil and a Scout, whatever you need. But then, without a bomb plant, you just got 2k. Do 1 save, you can still buy pretty decently, and at least you can challenge your opponents. Just hoping you won't fall in towards those arms of those SMGs. There's 2 currently on Team Secret, 1 UMP on towards Percy, and an MP9 on towards SMF as well. I'm curious to see if they tend to go aggressive with those weapons. So of course it is a, well, quite risky move, but a good return on investment if you get 2 or 3 kills.
And let's see if they can actually get those, though. I think that's the most important thing, you know. There is always a possibility, but it's important to actually follow up and be successful in that regard. Make the best out of it, and maybe, just maybe, have a solid chance at turning, well, this eco round around.
Well, Honoris trying to spot it out with his scout so far, not really spotting a player. As Honoris is moving up, and there's the opening kill on towards Neo. Second tag not coming in. He will try to go for a second. Indeed, he will get a headshot on towards Gretcha. USB in hand will also get a fur, but he will fall to Stomp. Eventually, there will be a refrag from Red Faction, but, well, that still was a pretty decent round from Team Secret. Dropping the scout, of course, it's a little bit of money. That armor as well, but you can just rebuy. Hopefully, maybe there will be an op to be dropped, because that would really increase their odds. But, well, looking at the money before this round ended,
look at this
they didn't have the money.
Boom.
Yeah, it was clean. Going for the USB, having a good turn, but then going way too aggressive on the last. Shouldn't really have done that, because, of course, that's really blocking your own economy. You already knew that round was in.
Point being, anyhow, that the result is there. Team Secret achieves the double digits now. And with those double digits, things are starting to look mighty more positive for them in this first map so far. Overpass. And who knows, maybe with Overpass, it'll be quickly over if they do get the second map after this. But we'll have to see. The second map can still go any way, and it is also Honoris, their map pick.
Sammy and Taz both with an opening frag, as Percy's nade just went a little bit too deep. Red Faction now with 1 kill in return will try to upgrade to that AK and at least have a better chance of fighting. Of course, the good weaponry on that T side after their save round prior. Synapse in the smoke, and Monster will now have to move back as the AWP shot rattles by. And it's going to be Neo already on towards the side. Stomp now taking down Red Faction as well. And Synapse, hello? If you're just looking at the right moment, you might actually know. But Synapse has been spotted out by Neo, so they know on short there will be a player. And now the other way around, it's also known that Neo is underneath Heaven. He will get the second as well. It's going to be the 8th round for Honoris. And Team Secret, I would imagine, going for a force buy, or possibly even a pistol armor. There's one player on $1,400, however, so that's going to be a little bit awkward.
Yeah, that's going to be an interesting buy, to say the least. If they would go for a pistol armor, then it would be Honoris who would be completely strapped for cash and out of money. They do have to buy something, though, clearly. I mean, yeah, and you can kind of see it coming in now, although, nope, they are just saving. Yep, they are just saving most of these funds. Fair enough. Wouldn't have done...
Well, Honoris can, of course, still play on the scout, so
yeah,
that wouldn't really hinder him too much. It would still make him feel a little bit more confident, possibly, than go on the FAMAS or whatever. So I can still understand that they will go for the save, because the next round they can still buy. Red Faction could even drop an AWP if they really decide to have that strong weapon, which wouldn't be too crazy. But, well, I'm curious to see what they will buy in the next round and if they can deal any damage here.
I think that's the main question to ask for them. Is it the damage that they're going to deal, or are they potentially going to let Honoris get, well, dangerously close to the 9th match? Ooh, here we go, or the 9th round even. Sammy opens it up well, though. That's a good start for Honoris. Anarchius here has to hold it on for the party. Sammy comes in, though. Doesn't really connect his shots. Does go down to the USP. Now the site, the B site, is being taken on by Honoris, and they should be able to comfortably get the plant.
Well, saving that AK will be huge for the side of Team Secret, of course. As we highlighted before, Honoris has really low money, so he couldn't really buy that well the next round. If they save that one weapon, it will just, well, clear all their troubles. And, well, if they would get another, I think they would be really happy and have a lot of utility to work with as well. Of course, they would have already had that, but, well, the more they have, the better it is, and the more reserves they can build, it is also a very good thing to have. Right now, the round will go to Honoris, however. That means it's now 10-9, and Team Secret will be, well, a little bit worried about their opponents getting rather close at this moment in time.
A little bit worried, even, you say. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Well, we'll see.
What?
Okay.
SMF still gets a kill on towards Grudge. Tries to go for a second as well as Red Faction currently then uses a Glock. Not really sure how the CT actually grabbed that one. But we will see that 10-9 lead. At least a little bit extra damage. Of course, only 2 players falling for Honoris isn't too bad. But that last frag, that was a little bit of a waste.
Just a shame, really. Something that you shouldn't throw into Team Secret's hands. Now, you can look at this buy here, and you can see Anarchis actually getting his AWP in his claws. Utility is also mostly present. It's not the full loadout, but it is decent enough. Stomp, however, opens it up well. Anarchis immediately taken out in that heavy investment out of the equation. Grucha now gets the second frag. Well done by him. 3v5. A lot of opportunities being created by Honoris here, and who knows, maybe that could just as easily become the 10th round here, going in their favor, the equalizer.
Yeah, we do see Sammy now trying to move up around Toys. No players really contesting as of yet for Team Secret, of course. Now being a little bit out of their luck, they're trying to play a little bit more passively. Still have some utility. They'll be throwing it out right now to make it seem possibly they're really defense heavy on towards the A side and bait Honoris to go towards B, where Red Faction has now rotated to, as well as SMF. It is a gamble play. It might actually work. There is a player monster to see if there are actually any players there. And now he will come into trouble soon, as SMF will be tagged up by a nade from Neo. And with there not being any peaks coming out, maybe they will go for the rotate, or will they just go for the commit? Neo with the first frag will be traded out by Red Faction. That's a second AK in the hands of Team Secret, but they will save these most likely, because a 2-on-4 is not really winnable at this moment in time. And I'm curious to see if Team Secret will be able to bounce back in the next round. Even getting that AWP, would have possibly expected the side of Honoris to tidy things up and maybe throw that somewhere where they wouldn't expect it to be. SNMC is now just trying to hold the angle for an exit frag. I'm not expecting a player from Honoris to go down there.
No, I think that would be overstaying their welcome a little bit and taking too much risk. They might as well be best off taking this AWP and that AK even to the next round. Make the best out of it. Little pixel angle. He's moving in.
And SNMC actually goes off the angle at the wrong time. You have a teammate standing by. Now you've lost your window of opportunity. Player has not spotted him, however, is now moving up. Eventually, SNMC will get that frag, but that could have been a little bit easier.
Yeah.
Maybe been a little bit safer as well. At least another frag, at least 2 weapons saved for Team Secret, but around those weapons, maybe I would recommend an eco. However, Anarchist can buy, and it seems like they're buying up in full, as they want to at least regain that lead. They've now lost against Honoris. They've equalized the score and are really building their economy.
And let's see, maybe that economy building is going to be what they need to do to actually finish this out well in their favor even. It definitely paints a good image, or well, it makes it a good look ahead for them. You know, they have those reserves that they can count on even if they lose a couple of players in a round. As long as the result is still there, you know, they have to just get the round wins, keep it up, keep it going, and with that, prove that they might actually be the better team after all, contrary to most expectations.
Yeah, Gretchen now being tagged up, and there was a player actually on the side trying to contest that short area. Going for a little bit of a cheeky peek, and now they're trying to go for a cheeky boost. Could possibly get a kill if a player then moves in, but Gretchen will take down Synapsy. Reflection with refrag, but as SMF tries to swap around, he will almost get killed. But Taz will commit on towards his teammate, get one. And now it is a 3-on-3. Molly's coming in towards the angle of SMF, who is incredibly low. But they will consider possibly rotating towards the other bomb side. However, Neo once more sneaking through on the B side. He's done that many of times. So it is now Percy with a refrag, but Honoris on fire. Will have to move towards Heaven. And there might actually be a smoke there, so he will go back eventually. Sammy going to be on the side. Percy for the flank from short will be helped by those smokes. Gets the first frag. No! It's Neo with the turnaround. Percy not getting a clean headshot, leaving only Honoris alive in a 1v2. Grabs the AK, knows the player is low right here. There will be a flash, and still he gets the frag, but he's reloading. And Neo is behind the pillar, trying to play ring around the Rosie. No defuse kit on the CT player either. And that round is done, and thus at 11-10 in favor of Honoris. Doing a good job so far, and I'm curious to see if they can actually win this map and, well, go against my bets, because I expected, I put my money on towards the side of Team Secret, possibly winning 2-0. But their overpass play so far is really, really good.
I put it elsewhere. I put it on Honoris, and who knows? Imagine that.
Oh, you wild man!
Oh, that! Imagine.
Is this a comeback?
This might actually be the comeback. Let's prove that that caster clash is only a temporary setback that I'm dealing with, and that you will maybe after all have to, well, suck it up, so to speak, and deal with the loss.
Things are happening, you know. It's going to be maybe the turnaround for you. Maybe another win for me. We see Synapsy now going for a frag as he and his teammate lose their lives. Luckily, Honoris brings one back on towards Gretcha and get an AK in their hands as well. But still, it's going to be hard. One player down, no real weapons to work with. And you dare to say Honoris might want to give that AK towards Redafaction. Another Dink going down on towards Neo. He goes very low. And I think it's key for the side of Honoris right now to group up as a unit and try to play together. Any more money, but Honoris getting a first frag onto Sammy as well. Now it's a 3-on-3, and now it's actually very doable. You just need to be wary of course, Honoris not dying. However, he will, as Neo, the low HP player, goes for the aggressive peek, which really does surprise me, but it works out luckily in the end.
It's, you know, one of those older legends. They're able to pull that off. They can risk that. Utility being thrown onto the side. It's all down to SMF and Radisfaction to hold this off, but he does in the end succeed. Stomp going down. 1v2, but Taz finishes it off. It's Honoris that get the 12th round and are starting to build up a bit of their advantage now. Who knows? Perhaps this could be it. Perhaps this could be the start of the Honoris comeback. Even if their track record might not have been the best, this might just be their chance. This might just be their comeback.
Well, it's going to be Secret, hoping that an AWP will run at least well, but you know, you got Stomp against you, and so far with his AWP, he's been really, really well at getting those opening kills whenever they need to. Even if they don't need to, he'll still do it, because that's the only thing he knows to do. Getting those frags in with the AWP, also the scout, as we do see Percy play for that underpass control. Very interesting to see, but the problem is that Honoris has already fallen. Synapsy will also have an AWP of his own and will take a frag in return, but still, it's going to be Gretcha going down. Percy will be refragged. It's a 3-on-3, and still this should favor that T side moving on towards A. Bomb to be grabbed from the T stairs, moving in as well, as Redafaction is the sole member standing by. He has a very bit of utility. A smoke, 2 flashes, should be enough to stall for a little bit, and then hopefully a rotate to come through. But so far, it seems like Team Secret is still just banking on that B bomb side jump comes through from Sammy, and It's so hard to play against it if he's strafing, all right. And now we have a pincer movement coming in. SMF coming from the dumpster. And his teammate from Toilets can't hit a shot, and it seems like they're maybe calling for a save, but as the kill comes in, it could actually still be viable. However, we do see, I believe it will be Stomp trying to move around from long through Toilets, whereas actually Taz with the AK trying to do that. But the problem is Stomp has now fallen. It's now a 2v1. Do they know where the last player is coming from? No, they don't.
There's the bomb planted in the right spot.
Oh, it is. It is definitely. And he does spot a player, but it's going to be Synapsy with the last frag as well. And that means the round will go to Team Secret. How unlikely it seemed before, but still that was a very good retake with a very sloppy afterplant.
A very solid retake, but indeed it was all down to Taz there basically to get the frag and deny the plant, but he didn't. He didn't. I guess Team Secret did have the advantage there. If that had been one player alone, that round would have definitely been to Honoris. You know, there wouldn't have been a doubt about it. But it has to be said, Honoris, they actually had the man advantage at a certain point, and they still wasted it.
Well, 12-11 so far. It seems like Honoris had a little bit of a dream run. It's been smacked down by the side of Team Secret, now having the AWP on towards an Arcus, going towards mid, trying to contest whatever might come through those stairs. It's going to be Sammy flashing himself in, but Stomp once more not going for that fight, trying to find his luck elsewhere. And the big thing for Stomp so far has been that he's playing so many different angles that Team Secret can't really counter him out. Also on the CT side, going for a different peak almost every round, and then unexpectedly going for the same peak twice just to make it harder and harder to play against it. SMF has been tagged up, I believe that was by some utility, and he's now trying to stay alive with the rest of his team, trying to contest Monster as well, as we do happen to see this rotation coming in from Honoris, going for that B take. At least it would seem so. Counter Molly coming in as well, as we do see the bomb still biding his time there. The smoke has now gone. SMF will re-smoke fairly soon, as there will now be smokes also flying towards the A side. It's going to be a little bit of a fake as Neo takes down SMF through the smoke. Of course, already being at half HP. That's the opening kill they were looking for, but they're still delaying. Expecting to be a mistake coming out from the CT side. As Red Faction is still trying to play close. 3 players on this B-bomb side, and 1 at A long trying to fake. It's pretty classic strategy to come in, as the player on long will be taking out Anarchus, will get that frag, will now maybe move as well towards the B side as a rotate was almost being called by the side of Team Secret. CMC now getting the frag on towards Stomp as well. There's a key player gone, a 4-on-3, flashbangs coming in, but losing player as well will be Team Secret. It's going to be Grudja moving in with the rest of his team. Taz as well, but he follow up just doing as he did in the 1.6 era, as now Anarchus in a 1v3 will get one, but can't cancel the bomb plan, tries to go for some wall bangs. It's going to be very hard as he will fall as well towards Neo. And 13-11, Honoris will make it work. The dream duo, of course, will let you go this round as well.
But that was a shot that he should have actually had, you know. It was a tough one, okay, I'll admit, right? But if he'd had that shot, you don't agree?
No, well, like, of course, the planter was a little bit close in the smoke, and of course, the player on Monster is such a close angle with the AWP. It's almost impossible to get those flicks on, unless if you have the sickest and most maneuverable arms, and probably also a broken wrist, because you have to flick that hard. Eco coming in from the side of Team Secret, hoping that at round 14 for Honoris, they can bring it back. Unless if we do see something crazy, and that is of course a eco win. But, well, it seems unlikely as Sammy takes down an Arcas, and we're going to see the Deagle Fest to hopefully get some frags for the side of Team Secret. Otherwise, their CD side might actually be ruined, and your bets might actually be right.
Just imagine that, right? Although they'd still have to win to another map, of course. I did put in on the match, not this particular map. But who knows, you know, if they get onto Dust 2, could definitely be a map that should be, well, even more, or even easier, so to speak, for Honoris.
Well, don't stop believing as Neo now takes down the frag on towards SMF. It's going to be a 5-on-3, and this eco seems to go south quite quickly right now for Team Secret. They try to go for a slow approach. Now a great 1-dig from Synapsy, taking down Stomp. At least a little bit damage done. And it seemed like Honoris was trying to rotate back towards that A side. And Synapsy has seen that, wants to go there as well, as Team Secret is fully stacking towards that side, but Honoris is actually expecting it rotate as well and then going towards the B side. Most likely trying to negate also a member from the CT side, picking up that AWP. And now we do see a desperate rotate come back once more. It's a little bit ring around the rosy as we've seen before from the side of Honoris, but now we do see Synapse falling as well, and this round should be done and dusted.
We'll see Plant is down, and indeed done and dusted is probably the best way to put it. Percy and Radifaction being the only two, or Radfaction even, no, Radifaction, being the only two left standing. Best they can hope for is maybe an exit frag here or there.
Well, Tess is trying to tap it out, but there's two players standing by here in the graffiti area. One boost coming in. No shot yet from Percy, but he will get a 1-dig on towards Sammy. Now going for the aggression. They know there's a player close, but the nade will hurt them dearly as Tess gets the first. Will go for the second. That's a clean-up duty. Done and dusted. 14-11. Norris have gotten the lead. Are now getting close to a possible map point. However, once more they have to face a bye. But let's be honest right here, RJ. Have they really had troubles against those buys from Team Secret? Because that AWP, not really that strong in the early stage of the round for the Team Secret so far.
Not really. They haven't encountered most of the resistance that you really are expecting from Team Secret, even more so on a CT side, to be honest. And that is a bit of a shame, to be really, well, I guess direct. Team Secret, they really should be able to pull this off, and yet they are having such a hard time against it. Honoris with a 3-round advantage now, and with that, it's all going to come down again to a player like Anarchas to actually get the frag, to actually make sure that their defense is strong enough, and that Honoris don't actually manage to get an opening somewhere, that they don't manage to get onto the site, which is, you know, obviously the age-old and classical problem that you have to deal with as a counter-terrorist.
Double AWP, of course, up and running. Anarchas trying to play the toilets area once more. Should be wary of that long angle as 3 players are moving up and a 4th will soon join them. Flashbangs to come in there, and guess with the first frag will be able to not get away as Neo on mid will get that refrag. Percy now the man to follow up will get a decent tag. Molly to come in as well, but there will be a peek from Grutcha. He will fall, there will be a smoke, and Radifaction also with the follow-up on towards Stomp. Makes it a 4-on-2. Push is aggressive, but it might actually work.
See if he could get a frag here. Yes, he does. Percy taken out.
No.
Neo then turns it around. Radifaction out of the equation. Who knows? This could be it. But Synopsy does have the intel. He does know that they're low HP. In the end, he does go for the AWP anyway, and with the USP, he can finish it off. Lovely frag by him there. Lovely double kill even. And now it is Team Secret that do take that round, that make the advantage of Honoris just a little bit smaller.
But look at the waste of money. First, Percy now gets a kill. That's very nice. At least a little bit of contention. Had some support from the A side as well. And then he goes for the peak. He goes aggressive. One of his teammates dies as well. Why lose those 2 weapons when you already have a 4-on-2 situation? You know the economy of Honoris will be pretty alright, so they will be able to buy regardless of what you're doing here. I just say try to think of your own economy for once. Because, well, if you're not saving and a crisis strikes, you're done for.
Absolutely, and that is even more important now as we get closer and closer to the end of this first map. Especially if they, well, don't have the reserves to build upon. If they lose a round, maybe, then before you know it, it could be the map lost.
Well, the young boss comes in, and we will see how Honoris will be able to bounce back. The reserves now going in towards this round entirely. And that will put some pressure on towards them. I do believe I saw an SG. I do believe I see a Galil as well. And it's going to be hard as another tactical pause is being called. Most likely by the side of Honoris as, well, they've just lost a round. They know that if they lose this one, there will be a world of trouble. Team Secret will be able to then get another. We'll go to equal numbers. Then either we're looking at overtime or we're looking at a possible win for either of these teams. And from that point onwards, it could go anywhere. Team Secret at least giving themselves a little bit of confidence at this moment in time, hoping they can at least hold on because they need to get those opening kills, the AWP. It seems like they're possibly a little bit scared. Anarchas not going for those actual opening frags, mostly playing around the toilets area, and he's been doing that a few rounds, so Honoris could be able to counter that if they just, well, think about doing so.
Perhaps they will actually succeed in that fashion. We will have to see. Honoris, they do only have to succeed, well, 2 more times in this map, and then they'll have it in the pocket. Even if they only succeed once more, it is overtime then. And, well, I mean, in this competition, overtime is something that we've seen quite a lot already. So I wouldn't be surprised at this point if it happens anymore.
Well, we do see that decent buy coming in. There is an AK in the hands of Sammy, but two players actually without any head armor. MP9 on towards Red Faction might actually come in wondrous, as we do see an AK coming down on towards Anarchist. Will be actually forced back, as of course Stomp is looking there. Not with an AWP, no. He'll be there with a scout. And, well, that's not really the best weapon you dare to say, but so far we've seen Stomp also racking up kills with it in the rounds we've seen before. Galil in the hands of Neo, and the utility already running low on the T side. And that is actually quite scary.
It's, well, worrying if they haven't actually gotten onto a site yet. And it is all going to come down to, well, more frags then in that case. You can see smoke being thrown out there. They do have to make use of it now and actually commit to this. See if they can actually pull it off, but it's dangerous, it's risky. We'll have to see if they can actually do that. Falling
Percy,
back now, Percy.
the smoke just dissipated, so I think they saw a radar blink, but I'm not too sure. They'll have to peek him. It's going to be a waiting game, and I would have expected them to be able to see it, but still they don't really play too well. But the spray from Percy will miss Anarchist, luckily with refrag. But Galil actually working out, and that shouldn't be that way. SMF now with the frag on towards Neo, as Anarchist is trying to move to safety, but he's still stuck for the time being. Flashbangs being thrown out, he will go for a peek. Sammy going to tap a little bit more, but look at Long, there will be Taz once more going for the aggression. Will get a kill on towards Sammy, and this might actually seal the deal here for Team Secret, as Anarchist loses another battle. He will lose too many shots in towards the wall instead of a player. SMF is close. He hears a player. He will go for the frag. That's going to be an instrumental one. A 2v2. And Red Faction coming in with, of course, that MP9. AWP for Stomp. He's upgraded to the weapon of Anarchist, as we do still SMF playing around here. But Red Faction is taking so low now, doing a little bit of damage. Still is still 2-on-2. It's taking way too long. They're trying to move in. They're losing a player. Stomp now having to look towards the Toys area. Getting the last kill as well. 15-12. And Honoris might actually win this in the next round, as Team Secret a little bit struck for cash.
There's a very solid chance there. Even though Honoris might not have survived with a lot of team members, they've got the reserves to work around it, normally speaking. They might still have to do a little bit of creative accounting, but regardless, there is a good chance.
I think that if people at the start of this series actually betted on the words Honoris, they're now getting to become rich, because at the start it was 1.01 for Team Secret and about 15 for Honoris for the entire series.
Yep.
So they still will win that second map as well, as this is of course the map pick of Team Secret. It could be very, very interesting to see how it will turn out, and Team Secret going to the lower bracket. I couldn't fathom it, because so far they've just been so strong in their past few matches. Their win rate way better than that of Honoris. So they should be the stronger team statistically, but again, statistics not really working in the favor of our predictions.
Not always, you know, it all depends. We'll have to see if Honoris actually finishes it off here. There is a bit of a worse start for them. Neo tagged severely. Armor is still there. Utility is still decent enough on the Honoris side. It's not the best, but it'll do, you know, it'll do the job. And let's see now what they make out of it. I really don't know at this point. I'm curious. I'm worrying, well, for Team Secret then. Seeing what they might make out of it.
Red Faction a very good flank, but look behind him. There's a player as well, Neo, trying to fake a smoke. That will make some noise when he does pull that pin and, of course, starts to run down. Will there be an over-rotate? Yes, there will be from the side of Team Secret. There's only one player. He will be taken out. There's no other. And now they have to go back. There's only one player close by at the dumpster area. Taz is moving through the AK. Of course, he'll try to go for the first. It's going to be Anarchist with a first, a second as well, but now under pressure at this truck position. We'll get support, but there will be a double from Grutcha. Percy luckily with a refrag, but only semi-alive in a 1v2. After getting that first kill in 10 seconds, has to go for the plan, but an 8 will be there. It's 15-13, and Team Secret bounce back. And now I'm curious to see, Honoris, how is their money? There isn't any. This should be a force buy, or maybe an eco for last, and that is scary, because then there is a very, very likely chance for overtime.
I was just going to say, it's the holdout, it's the eco thinking, okay, I guess we can try and wait this out. We can just wait and play it on safe and play for, well, this last round that we'll win it there, but honestly, that is always such a risk that you're taking. It is one that they've opted to go for, but let's see if it works out.
pretty deep investment for Nico. Of course, those Deagles coming in could deal some damage, but Anarchist now luckily with an opening kill on towards Grutcha. That means we're now on towards a 5-4 situation. And, well, it still hurts if you look at the Honoris side. Their economy, very non-existent. Their loss bonus, very low. So they would really benefit from a bomb plant. So they have to move as a unit and try to attack the usually less defended side, which is, of course, A. And thus they are moving towards long. Percy is looking at the flower bed, but you can also look to your right as there will be players coming in fairly soon. Stomp is now spotting a player very far away as there will now be the first frag from Percy, but is running out of bullets. Luckily, as Undercast with the AWP standing by to get another kill. C will get one on towards Neo, and Taz will fall without dealing any real damage. And Team Secret with a clean round. Didn't really matter, as of course we're going to the last round of the regular time, but at least they're playing it a little bit more cleanly. And we see Taz and his friends trying to buy up. There will be AKs, there will be utility. But will there also be a round win, or will it be overtime?
There is a solid chance for either at this point, I dare say. I'm not going to commit to saying Honoris will now actually finish it off in the last round, but it might just be Team Secret actually pushing this through overtime. They definitely have the loadout for it. They definitely have the better utility, the kits, etc., everything that they might want. But let's see if they can actually commit those.
Arcas once more missing his shots with the AWP. And that does really hurt Team Secret as, well, you needed all pressure. We said it as well yesterday with Big Academy, not always being in luck with Panics. Good lag shot coming in from Sinopsy, trying to angle in a nade as well soon to possibly finish off that player. Ball back to come. There will be the nade. There will be a very good tag. 3 players very low on the side of Honoris. But will they fall down as well? Because, well, just getting tags, that doesn't really net you anything. But Sinopsy now also with the kill on towards Grutcha. And Wallbang to come in from the upper, trying to go for more. But he just needs to hold off short. His teammate is looking at Monster. But Honoris, they're trying to fall back. They're trying to go towards that A side. Still, look at their setup. There's 2 Galils, 1 AK. Actually, a second one as they now upgrade that Tech 9 from Neo. They're still on low HP, so you might want to swap around that weapon towards Taz as he's just a little bit more healthy. They both have that armor as well to work with. And they're moving towards A once more. Enercast with his AWP needs to get those kills in, because otherwise, we've seen what we've seen before. It's going to possibly be another round for Honoris.
Yes, it would be Team Secret throwing away a one-man advantage, and Percy here, is he going to push through the smoke? Oh, that might be dangerous for him.
He's waiting for the utility, and if it comes, he will go for the peak. Stomp now kissing him. And eventually will get the kill as well. It's a 4-on-4, and now we do see the kill coming back from Red Faction and Erkes as well, but the flashbangs are good. Neo with the follow-up brings it into a 3-on-2, but look at the HP. Still the players of Honoris will go to overtime, 15-15. And, well, I'm not too sure. Honoris will be a little bit saddened by this. And look at the kill distribution as well from the side of Secret. So far, pretty equal. Just one player under that 20 margin. But apart from that, they're doing really well. This was just a little bit sloppy, but also quite romantic.
Yes, you know, you always have that intimate moment of, oh, there's someone here. Just a little love tap, so to speak. But indeed, overtime it is. The first one in the first map, in the first match of the day. So off to a fantastic start, I'd say.
Well, this match should have actually also been close if you just look at the HLTV World Ranking. Of course, these teams closely knit with just 16 ranks between them. But still, the win rate for Secret has been better, especially on towards this map, because we haven't seen Honoris play this all too often.
Yeah, so who knows? Maybe it is the fact that Overpass, they did actually prepare for it better. They actually had certain tactics up their sleeve, and now they've been able to apply those in a sense. And when I look at Honoris, I have a feeling there are a couple of players that you need to highlight. You've got your Stomp, for example, who's really shown through. But along with Taz and Neo, of course, they are that classic duo, and they have sort of proven themselves at times. Taz or Neo, for that matter, coming in clutch when needed. And Honoris in general, they also, something that I believe you mentioned actually, about the angles that they peak at times. They keep it nice and varied. They don't always do the same thing. They keep the uniqueness in the game, and they don't go for the same tactic every time.
Yeah, I'm going to feel sad for Stomp if they do lose this map because, well, of course, the rest of his team has been fragging as well, especially Neo and Taz. But Stomp, getting those opening frags time and time again, actually was an enabler for the rest of his side. So it would hurt, but still they have a good chance. Now going towards the T side, that is, of course, actually, at this moment in time, slightly favored. But you just see a little bit less maneuverability from Stomp. With the economy from the 16k, he will be able to buy that AWP whenever he wants to. So I'm curious to see, will he be able to duel NRK, or will NRK say, well, I'm not actually going for it because there's no real reason to.
It would be a certain risk that Anarchist would have to take, but we'll see if he does end up taking that. It is a solid choice or a solid chance, I suppose, but right now it's still very much up in the air. It could go both ways. You know, I'm not really sure if I can say that it is going to be Honoris or Team Secret that actually gets the upper hand here. Like, so far, it's another one of those situations where beforehand, okay, you might have had your statistics saying, okay, yeah, Team Secret, they've got 16 spots above Honoris in the HLTV ranking, but then now, surprise, surprise, it's that, I guess, European mix-up here going against the Polish strength of Team Secret.
Well, not even a complete European mix-up, because, of course, Team Secret consists out of 2 Danes, 1 Norwegian legend in the form of Red Affection, and, of course, an Israeli player and someone from Kosovo.
Yeah, it is. You know, I guess it is 4 players on the European continent.
It's a great mix.
But yeah, I think, especially in Arcas, you know, that a really, really key Israeli player that shows up and does come in clutch when he needs to. But so far, he hasn't always done that. He has had his moments, but
I would expect more.
Exactly, I would have expected more for him, and that is, I think, the best way to put it.
Well, we do see NRK going aggressive towards the mid area, but so far we see Honoris actually going for a B play, taking short control now, going close as well, pushing through the smoke. SMF will fall to Taz, being blindsided by the player, just going a little bit more aggressive than he expected. Red Affection cleanly taken care of by Grutcha with an AK headshot, as now the volley will be cancelled out. Sinopsy with a great flick will go for an aggressive deagle peek. Why would you do this? Now you will be traded out instead of waiting for your teammates. And of course the bomb will go down. There was no reason to go this aggressive, as we still actually have 2 more AWPs on the side of Team Secret. Did they actually buy free going in towards this round?
No.
That's just a little bit silly, I would dare to say. And they're now losing their first round on towards this CT half of their overtime. Neo with a clean headshot, and, well, that push, that really hurt me. I don't understand.
Are you okay? Do you feel it physically?
If
like,
he just stayed there, he could still wait for his teammates who were, of course, on their way. But now, pushing in there, you're throwing yourself in the midst of at least 2, maybe 3 players from the T side. The chance of you making it out alive, pretty much 0. And you saw it. He didn't even get a single kill because he knew there was a player in front of him. He was also scared of the player to his left, and he just didn't know how to approach it once he got there.
Well, it is what it is now, and if we have a look at the economy, yeah, you can see that there's already a serious downside with Team Secret. If they lose this round now, hell, they're even going to have to do some...
It's a triple up.
Yeah, they're going to have to do some inventive bookkeeping to try and cover for the investment that they made. And that's going to be an almost guaranteed 3rd round win there for Honoris if their economy isn't on their side, if they can't actually get hold of the utility, for example. But we'll have to see. It can still go all sorts of ways, but it's worrying. It's a disturbing sign of things to come.
Well, Synapse is trying to play the B short control, something they've lost in the previous round quite early on. Flash is going towards long Red Affection with 1 frag before being traded out. At the corner at the flower bed, there is Percy also with it. AWP now trying to challenge Stomp, but, well, fool me once, shame on me.
Fool me twice, shame on you.
So I think he won't peek again because, well, the moment he does that, of course, Stomp will get that frag. So far, the superior upper. Another clean headshot from Grutcha, doing an amazing job with the AK. A second as well on towards Anarchas, as we do see that 4-on-2 situation. This should be around in their favor. But of course, with the crazy plays we've seen so far from Secret, could of course still be turned around. Nade's coming in, dealing a little bit of damage towards Grutcha. Synopsy getting the first frag, trying to go for a second, but at truck there will be Grutcha still getting 1, being traded out, leaving only SMF alive in a 1v2. Towards the crosshair of Stomp, and of course he won't miss, as we now have a 17-5 scoreline in favor of that Polish T side.
And this is that solid, well, this is that opportunity that's happening now, although, okay, it looks like economy-wise they should be able to manage. It's going to be, well, it's interesting, but they'll make it work still, though. Honoris here, this is a really good start to their overtime. Who knows how they're going to pull off the CT side as well, because, honestly, Team Secret, they're underperforming so far. They're not doing it as well as they should have. This is overtime. This is supposed to, this is overtime. Well, this is overtime. This is also overpass. And this is supposed to be their map. But why isn't it showing up? Why isn't it their map?
A little bit of aggression towards the B side, but not really a commit with the bomb as well. Taz just trying to see what he can do, possibly force some rotates or some aggression at the underpass area. Player holding that off from down below. As Taz is just sitting here in the corner, will be spotted out by the side of Anarchist, getting the opening kill. Something we requested from him some time ago, and he's finally actually made it happen. As we do see that 4-2-4, because of course Stomp will take down Percy, but why was Percy peeking there? Why was he going a little bit more aggressive after already gaining that advantage? You know that Stomp will be somewhere over the AWP, and just that fear factor you should respect.
Always respect the fear factor. We'll see though, it's a little bit of unnecessary peeking that does end up costing their life. Synopsy now here holding it out from toilets. He should be able to get a frag here soon enough if the push does come in from Sammy along with his teammate. But they're going for the boosted position instead.
They're waiting, they're checking if they can get a kill, but well, interesting for me is that so far Team Secret has swapped around that op roll a few times. Of course, Anarchist the primary, but then Synopsy and Percy in this overtime, changing it around a little bit every now and then. And it's a little bit weird. So far, the push will go towards the A side. There will be a player on short, of course, at the toilets area. It's the AWP. Now trying to get a kill. Synopsy gets the first. The trade might come in because Gracha is, of course, trying to enter. And he actually tags down one of the players. And there will be an off shot being rattled off. Nate's also coming in, but not tagging up this T-side player. The bomb has already gone towards the B side, but well, they ran out of time. And that's a little bit of a very sad moment. It's something I've seen before with the Polish teams. I think in the old days they do manage to mess up their time schedule a little bit as well. They were just not really committing to the right side, and now we do see 17-16 come out. Still in favor of Honoris. They only need 2 more rounds, but Team Secret isn't out of the count, going in, well, what so far has seemed to be the slightly favored T side.
It does happen to the best of us, you know. Sometimes you're too caught up in the moment. You're
thinking too much.
Yeah, you're worried. You're thinking, oh, where am I going to go? Wait, what side are we going to take? Okay, where am I going to throw this utility? And before you know it, tick tock, the clock is gone, and that does mean that Team Secret ends up finishing that first half of this first overtime with at least 1 round. And that does create some opportunities, although I would still be worried if Honoris now pulls off a nice little CT side. They feel in their element, they do a good job, they hold off the site well, then there could still be a very good chance that they finish this off in the first overtime.
Well, Synopsy now again with an AWP, a double op on the D side. Oh, I'm not too sure about that one, Secret, as well, it does really hinder your movement. They're then banking on pushes to come in from the side of Honoris, and so far they've been pretty passive, and especially in this first round. Well, I'm scared. Really scared for Secret, because they are really dependent on those op to get long-range opening kills. If they don't, those AKs will have to do all the work, and it's going to be hard. Rotate coming in towards that A side. 3 players already stacking up. The bomb currently not picked up by any of the players. And it's going to be Grudja moving up with the M4 towards toilets, and that's actually a position where there's no pressure at all from the side of Secret. That means all 3 players from Honoris will be standing there, and they'll just be biding their time trying to get a frag in. And of course Grudja will on towards Renefaction, meaning it's already a 5-on-4, and Team Secret now has to fight against 2 sides. Of course a player in Dumpster or of course Bank, as there are again 3 players at the toilet area as well.
And now it all comes down to those players, but oh, Stomp gets another frag, make that a second for Sammy. And is he going to go for the third eventually? No. Anarchist does manage to refrag now. 2v4 though, this is tough. And Anarchist, he doesn't have that much HP left. As a matter of fact, now he has 0 left. As it's all down to Synopsy, and oh, what is he going to do? What is he going to manage here? Probably not much as Grudja pulls in, sees him hop up, and boom. Denied, fragged out, and Honoris are 1 round away from winning the first map, Overpass, a map where Team Secret has a 100% win rate, and it's starting to look like that 100% might be, well, taken down a notch.
100% no more, you dare to say. Match point coming in for that CT side. of course, having everything their heart desires as well. One AWP on towards Stomp. A lot of utility as well as those AKs now being picked up in the previous round, surviving with many players. And on the side of Team Secret, they've luckily shied away from that double AWP, which I didn't like from the get-go. And as you saw, they just didn't make their mark, as they haven't for most of these matches. And that will mean we will see some aggression. Team Secret with those AKs most likely on the hunt, now trying to clear out the underpass area. Needs to come in, and then of course will also clear out that door, possibly for a wallbang, or of course a boost to come in from that CT side. There's going to be an A-take once more at least. They're trying to sense it out where Grutcha will be playing now, going for the first headshot. He will get one on towards Percy. Easy frag to come in, and now a 5-on-4 situation, and Team Secret, they're just not really doing all too much. They're now trying to go towards A. The ball has been dropped way back.
Oh, that was
luckily,
too aggressive.
Grutcha will go way too aggressive. It's Anarchist and Simsi both with the frag, but the mollies will be in place to counter them up for a little moment in time. SMF, however, with another frag of his own. And we're now seeing a 4-on-2 situation in favor of Team Secret. The smoke will be popped, the bomb will be planted. The flank will also be set by the remaining player, of course, being Neo. For the faction now holding the angle to the low HP Sammy, who's, well, eventually having to push through as his teammate is currently flanking long, but Anarchist is standing by. Last frag comes in as well, 18-17, and Team Secret still has a chance as they go to the last round of this first overtime. And of course, also the first map.
Double overtime?
It is possible. But
think,
it really
just imagine
depends on if Stomp is able to go aggressive, and with this spawn, he'll instantly go for a peek on mid. There's no question about it.
And that might be it. Maybe it is that mid-peak. That might turn around. Although Honoris, obviously, they did get the first frag in the last one as well, so it's a big, big question mark. It's all uncertain. We'll have to see what they do, what they make out of it.
Underpass.
Yep,
no,
there you go.
Mid. It's Anarchist going down. Sammy with the AWP as well, going underpass. 2 opening kills. The rest of his team will now be going for that B take. The nades, of course, will give away where they are, but Synapsy with the opening frag at least gets something going for his team. A 4-on-3. Taz standing by, losing another teammate, but that still means he's alive. But as he gets traded out by SMF, it is now a 3-on-2. New smoke towards heaven as the last 2 nades will fly from Honoris, so they know where they are. And so they know there will be no flank. Easier to hold, but still they're wary of that AWP. Stomp so far has been instrumental, going down to Gravity as well. As Sammy is slowly trying to clear things. Still some utility, still some decent stuff to work with. As on the side of Team Secret, we don't see anything. The problem is the utility is being used, yet there aren't players where they're actually using it at. It's going to be Synapsy the frag for Sammy. Only Stomp alive will peek in towards 2, and we're going to a second overtime. 18-18. And, well, I dare to say, luckily, Team Secret is able to come back, having those headshots going for him, taking that B side. Nor is actually a little bit unlucky with those 2 AWP frags not really delivering.
But there were opportunities there for Honoris.
Oh, it should have been around.
And it should have been, because they started out with a 2-man advantage.
Yes.
And it's just, poof, it's gone.
But they didn't get a single kill after. The problem was the first kill on towards barrels really left a mark. There wasn't a player trying to contest short, so that also meant they couldn't really have a crossfire going for him. The other player, a little bit far back, eventually cleared as well, and then those nades coming in really sealed the deal. Even though the utility usage was smart and good from Honoris, however, not really doing anything for him, they also gave away their precision. First those nades from heaven, then going to the Gravity area both. Well, that made it really easy, and then eventually it turned into a round for Secret, and luckily for them, they're now on another overtime, once more starting on that T side, which, well, so far has been pretty well for either of these teams. Now let's see what they can bring to the table. Another double AWP coming in from the side of Honoris. Anarchist is, of course, also hunting, and they have left that second AWP home, as we do see Synapsy getting another opening kill on towards Stomp this time. The other AWP is hunting, will get a kill. Red Affection, however, has got a 1 as well. It's going to be a 3-on-3, but the pressure on towards the B side should be insurmountable. Those players should really turn around as Anarchist takes down Grutcha. But Sammy still on the hunt with his AWP, will get a return frag because Anarchist decides to peek. He knows he's there. Why would you risk it? As the bomb is actually a playground. Sammy will now move past it. He hasn't seen it, but now he will see a player trying to contest him. Will be not flashed out. It was a nade. And now it's Taz falling, and Sammy not expecting the player to push through. Reddish faction getting the kill. 19-18. Secret for the first time in this overtime now also with the lead.
Who knows, maybe the lead is what Team Secret will need to lead on this first map victory. So far, I'm still uncertain about it. Honoris, they could have a solid chance to really throw it back now. But Team Secret, they're proving that they are so far a little bit better off to start this second overtime. I'm still quite unsure about it, though. I don't know how they're going to keep this going, if they are going to be able to keep this going, because both teams have shown that they really know how to choke when it's necessary.
Well, we do see Sammy actually going down to a wallbang spray from Synopsy. Blind through the smoke and a wallbang. I think you've now really got every perk you could have on that frag, as it is now going to be the 5-on-4 once more. A player lead in favor of the T side, putting pressure possibly towards A. There were 3 players there. One has actually moved past A a little bit. And Stomp, of course, with a frag in return. Not sure why there wasn't a single flashbang being thrown by the side of Team Secret. It's so easy. It's just a little investment.
Oh,
and now
Grutcha.
you know that you could have actually turned it all around. As Grutcha is indeed in toy, is now going for a little bit of a cheeky play. If he turns around at the right time and nobody's looking at him, he could get a kill. Tazza also standing by, so they won't be expecting these 2 players. At most, they will be expecting one. The first frag coming in from Stomp as well. There will be Taz dealing a very good headshot, getting another double kill. It's going to be Anarchast, the sole member alive, and he will go down to Grutcha as well. And we once more have an equal score at 19-19.
Everything in that round went around that toilet play there by Grutcha and Taz. Good positioning by Grutcha initially, but Taz just had a masterful hold there and just got a triple kill. Very well done, very well deserved, which does mean indeed that Honoris now get the 19th round. So far, the overtime has gone a bit to and fro. We see it here again. Taz first frag, second one, and eventually it's Grutcha who gets the third.
Well, we do see Utility prepping for possibly a quick B play. One player going through underpass to possibly cut off a rotator. As it's Team Secret now, possibly being judged by Sammy as well. A very good leg shot on towards Synopsy. A key player so far on the T side, trying to get those opening kills in. And he's just standing there saying, "Medic!
Medic!
I need some support here." It's going to be Sammy now being flashed out, and he will fall back, but of course will go for another challenge. That will mean that he will die, as Energas is this time standing by the AWP. 5-4. Once more an opening kill in favor of Secret. We've seen it before, but unfortunately the last round it didn't work out. It should have been possibly a clean T side, but they're just a little bit caught off guard by the quick and efficient rotations by Honoris. Of course, Stomp also on the AWP, being able to get some easy kills in, because every time they decide to pick him without using any utility.
But it's a shame that utility is so vital. You have to put that into play if you want to actually stand a decent chance. Right now, though, it's not looking like it so far. It's just the aggressive peaks at times, a little bit unsupported, and it does make me think of someone like an Arcus. Now, though, Taz going on top of the side. Neo, the golden duo, getting the clutch kills when it's needed. 4K for them, leaving only an Arcus left on the bomb side.
There's still a player right there in the water. It's going to be Neo with the last frag as well. 20 rounds right now for Honoris. And it's going to be another halftime lead after, of course, overtime. I'm curious to see if they will be able to at least convert it this time, or if it's going to be Team Secret to once more bounce back, this time on that CT side, which, well, so far hasn't been favorable, but, well, Honoris has also now shown it is doable if you do turn it all around, if you do rotate quick enough, and your opponents are readable. However, Honoris on their T side, often trying to at least peek at B and eventually rotate all the way around, which also resulted in, of course, something we saw in overtime. But, well, I'm curious to see. Will it be that 20-19 that will stand for Honoris, or it will be an instant comeback? Curious to see if we will see another triple AWP. I'm hoping we don't. Preferably 5.
Oh, you just want the full AWP loadout, boys.
That's
let's
a
go.
very good way to lose.
Well, nope, there's another triple AWP.
Really?
Really? Oh, boy.
And, of course, they need another scope in the AUG of Red Faction, but now they really need to go for those aggressive peaks. Synapse is going towards short, but he will not really be too successful, you would guess, as he will get tagged down. Smith luckily with the first frag will be in the smoke, but he'll be traded out. Red Faction and Simply all going down. And then you have two AWPs on a retake. And RJ, are AWPs really good retake weapons?
Well, no, not quite. It's tough because sometimes you can get the frags, but in this position, the moment they're out of position, look at that Percy. What?
He's still
Taz,
alive.
how?
The flash was good and Taz was completely blind, and now we do see eventually Percy, the sole member, alive. Molly comes in, he at least has one player in a corner, but Sammy, of course, will get that frag. 21-19, and Honoris is now looking at another match point, this time with a favorable lead. They only need one more round, whereas Team Secret needs two more to bring it back. Oh, Synapse finding his DPI button. And I'm curious to see if he will play with it sensitivity, because it will be juicy.
Well, to be fair, the players play with their sensitivity, but they also play with my feelings. How this is going here, how we're being so surprised, how we're getting an overtime, a second overtime in the first map and match of the day. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. I'm spoilt. Absolutely spoiled. Taz now pushes through. He did have the flash support, but then he was just too late. Oh.
Well, this time at least Team Secret is catching them off guard, because Taz has done that before on their D side, just going for that aggressive play, seeing if he can disrupt the defense, and if he can, they will move through. If he can't, they'll just try to do something else, and now they will actually try to go towards A. Recha standing by will be missed once more by that AWP. Time and time again, as he will burn slightly. There's also a player now stuck in towards toilets. That's Anarchist with the AWP trying to fall back around this flower bed, and these B-hops are on point. And maybe he will be able to teach something to Foon one day, as of course he's now practicing more and more. 5v4, still the favorable position for Team Secret, but they've given it away time and time again. So now they really need to make those ops work, and I'm curious, why do they always start with the triple AWP? It doesn't work, then they go off to a double AWP. Okay, then I can understand slightly, but well, where do you draw the line? Why do you still go for the triple AWP?
I believe that they just think that that triple AWP is the key to getting the rounds for them. The problem is just, the moment that your AWP shots don't hit, the moment that they close that distance and that they gain on you, it becomes dramatic. However, it does start off well. Synapse, he gets the first frag, make it the second and the third with the Deagle finish. SMF then cleans it out, Neo fragged, and with that, Team Secret wins the 20th round. And they are just one round away from, you guessed it, a third overtime.
Well, it's a good way to start, as well as, of course, Honoris hasn't played this map as often, so they're now giving teams a lot of research material, because otherwise there wouldn't be much if they wanted to play overpass it against this lineup as well, as we will see another round to go in. Of course, a full buy, but now as well a double AWP on the side of Honoris. They will be throwing around some extra AKs, however, because of course these AWPs will just be used for aggressive peeks and then be swapped out later. Some will be flashed, I think by himself, as we now have Anarchist holding the angle towards the playground. He's now trying to go for the peak. Stomp is standing by, but he's also a little bit wary. Now goes for a different position, and he's of course making a little bit of noise, yet still a little bit out of range for Anarchist to hear. He has support in towards underpass, otherwise he would have already been able to either fall or have to fall back.
But let's see though, where is this going to go? Who's going to get the first pick and maybe turn that first pick into the critical round win? For both teams, it is vitally important that they win this, but...
Oh no!
Oh, Anarchist. That might be the bad start that loses them the round. Let's see, Anarchist is tagged a little bit, but Radifaction comes in. He can clear out underpass, Grucha fragged, and with that now, one man down for Honoris, and Team Secret just a little bit closer to the third overtime.
It was so scary. Red Faction actually looked towards mid, as of course all those flashes were popping in, so a player could have actually pushed through. Eventually looking back at the right time, saving Anarchist his life, and now we will see that 5v4 once more a player lead for the side of Team Secret. And I'm curious to see why we still have two AWPs on the side of Honoris. I would have already swapped around one now, especially having that player deficit. Trying to at least get some maneuverability going for you, as Red Faction is now moving in towards toilets. There are 3 players at long, and there's one faking towards the B side. will come through mid once more. It's going to be Anarchist this time, hitting his shots, going for his second will fall. But where is the defense towards the A side? It's Red Faction, luckily, still at toilets. And Samey will get a refrag from Underpass. There will be
No
Synergy
chance.
with the Deagle to get a frag. It will be eventually a trade, as we do have Percy standing by, waiting for the fire to get away and get that defuse in. Another overtime and another chance for Secret to at least close out this map. But so far in overtime, they've just been a little bit lackluster.
Well, you can say that about both teams. They've not really been doing
But
it.
Honoris actually has been on match points multiple times.
Yes, but even then they can't follow it up. They can't close it out as they should. And that makes it all just so much more difficult. It makes you think, where is this going to go, lads? What's the end game here? Don't you want to win this? You know, where's your dedication, your enthusiasm?
Well, they're dedicated to this map. It's a little
Yes,
bit of a practice
yes.
session right here for Honoris. The longer it stretches out, the better they get.
I suppose.
And, well, they've been strong on either side. I'm just a little bit scared because, well, Stomp, he's now on 33 frags. And I believe before we actually went to overtime, he was on 25. And, like, the pressure is just dropping and dropping and dropping. And
you believe that Stomp is starting to laze out a little bit.
maybe
He's getting weak.
a little bit tired. I'm not sure.
Well,
and I'm curious to see if he will be able to step up. It might also be Team Secret not giving him the chances anymore.
It could be that. I think that it might be a bit of both. You know, Honoris, they do get so close every time. Maybe it's a slightly morale thing as well, where that Honoris really just starts to feel, well, okay, we keep trying, but every time we get so close and we can't connect, we can't pull it through. And we do end up with a second overtime, and now in this case, a third. But let's see, maybe they can turn it around now. We see a single AWP versus a double AWP, a respectable amount of AWPs.
Not a triple!
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm so disappointed by the side of Team Secret, but at least I'm actually very, very happy because I was a little bit scared if they would go for another triple AWP. Anarchist now getting the opening kill on towards, it's going to be Taz. I almost want to say Traz, but that's a little bit weird. As we do see Percy now flashing around. There's going to be another long take to come in. Shots to be fired. Now he knows there will be players there, but still not really grabbing his weapon in time. You dare to say, now looking away. Why? It's going to be Grudge with a frag. Anarchist, of course, still standing on short. Could actually go for another fight, but Grudge with the AK has been very strong. Goes for the peak. Will actually fall. Anarchist now stepping up in this third overtime. It's going to be Samey now possibly with a refrag indeed. 3-on-3 situation, but they still need to get that bomb towards the side. As there is now pressure from Dumpster, but that will be taken care of by Stomp. Taking down Shinopsy and now SMF, and of course Red Faction will have to clutch it out, but Red Faction is very, very late, only now coming from that B side. Going in the molly, getting the first kill, you would say, and indeed he will take down Sammy, but the AWP on Stomp is still remaining in this 2-on-2, and Neo is holding a crossfire together with his teammate. That smoke will help out to at least block some pressure going towards the dumpster area, but Neo will get the frag. It's Red Faction with one in return, but the bomb has been planted for toilets, and there's no more smoke remaining. Stomp gets it around, and once more Honoris leads in overtime.
I think that Honoris here, if they don't finish it out now, that there is just going to be a slight slump, you know. They're just going to go down, they're just going to hit some sort of, well, you know, peaks and troughs, so a trough. I think the correct words to use there, you know.
I have no clue.
Well, you know,
what you're
you have peaks and then you have the bottom parts, you know. Oh. You've got a constant line, it goes up and then it goes all the way down.
It's a dip.
It's a dip is a way better word to use, but I like, you know me, I like using fancy, overcomplicated words to make myself sound smarter than I actually am. Anyhow, maybe though Honoris can prove that they might actually be smarter, that they can finally close this out on the third overtime that we're in now. They've gotten the first round, so there's a solid chance of pulling that through, and if Taz opens up the site, that might be the start they just now need.
Red Faction standing by, but will be challenged by Stomp, who's close by with the AWP missing his shot and will be traded. 4-on-4, but where's that bomb planter? Now trying to boost towards Happen. Percy going for a push. He will go down to Neo, now going for the plant as well. And it seems to be a good situation for the side of Honoris as they also take down Red Faction, trying to wallbang that planter. And a good tag on towards SMF as well. Plant to come in will be a trade. Taz will go down, clean headshots now to be needed. Molly. And that's a very good incendiary as well. No smoke to be found. Neo going down almost, but it's still a 2-on-3, and Neo, I believe, being tagged up by one of his teammates, now falling back even further as we do see Samey standing by Cruncha with a kill, and of course Samey with the last one. 23-21, and Honoris getting the first 2 rounds here on their T side.
Let's see if Honoris can actually make it through. You know, I did put a 5er on Honoris. You know, maybe they're just really fighting. They really believe that they're going to make it through. They're going to show us, you know, once they get onto Dust 2, it's done. It's over. Done and dusted, you could even say, for Honoris then in that case, and Team Secret, who might only be losing this second round. If Honoris now can finish this first half of this second overtime with 3 rounds in their favor, I believe in it. I see that there's a chance. But it begins well. Grucha gets the first frags. Spy is out of the running. Red Faction can hold it off, though. He goes down. Grucha, SMF also. Samey does come in. SMF is out of the running, but look at Red Faction here. His hold is so strong, and that just might mean this round is going to Team Secret.
He went aggressive the moment the molly came in, and now he has a 3v1 against Stomp. His AWP, of course, coming in clutch time and time again. I'm just not sure if he will be able to actually get this frag as well. At least it will be Anarchist trying to move up. The molly will also come in, and, well, pressure to be set, the bomb to be dropped, as we're just waiting for eventually the last player on that T side of Honoris to go for either a fight or just a outright save. But, well, with 50 seconds left, and of course being in overtime, there's no real reason to go for a save.
You know, just go for the clutches, you know, go for the highlight reels.
YOLO!
YOLO indeed. At least try and get one lovely little AWP frag now and go and end this round with some honor on your side. But it doesn't look like that. And Arquez gets the frag, Team Secret once again, and this is a serious pattern that's starting to develop here now. Honoris get 2 rounds, Team Secret get the last one, and with that now we're going to the second half of the third overtime.
Well, we do see Stomp eventually stepping up a little bit more in this new overtime series. And I'm curious to see if he will be able to get some more in towards their CT side right now. Of course, with an AWP, you may have a little bit more easy time of going for those aggressive peaks and then falling back if your team does support you. But so far, it still seems as if the odds are in favor of Team Secret. Still holding on so far, usually coming back in their T side. And, well, they need to get those opening kills. So far, no double AWP on their side. Makes me happy, as we do see a quick rush towards that B side. Possibly there will be a molly, however, holding off short. No pressure as of yet from Honoris, as of course there was an aggressive molly to be thrown by that T side. New smokes, new flashes, everything coming down. And where will be the first frag? It's going to be Samey burning up, will be flashed out as well. He's still surviving somehow, but SMF has taken down Neo. Counter flashes to come in. There will be a push, but it's going to be SMF with another again. And third one as well, a 4K.
Okay.
Possibly an ace if he does take down Stomp, but now he's playing it a little bit more slow. That's the cleanest entry I've ever seen on that B side, as of course he still has low HP, but still made it work. And this AWP player, he's all alone. Once more, just like we saw in the previous round. But now we know that after a few seconds, that bomb will be, well, undefusable. And it will mean that the round will go in favor of Secret. They will equalize the score, as we do see eventually Anarchist get that wallbang headshot on towards his opponent. Let's see who will be able to then now gain the lead and possibly close out this match, because Team Secret at least has the momentum now.
Oh, bold of you to assume that this match will be closed out, Chaldrick. Don't you see this? Don't you recognize this?
How many overtimes are you banking on?
Oh, this time around, maybe I think we might be going for a record here. I'm saying that we're going into a fourth.
I'm saying if they don't close it out here, it will be 5.
Oh, okay.
5 overtimes.
Yeah, 5 overtimes. Why not, right? Why not,
Don't
right?
stop believing. Hold on to that feeling. As we do see Neo now moving in with his flashbang as well, but it's going to be Team Secret to play it a little bit smarter this time. Not going for an aggressive play, just hoping that possibly Honoris will be a little bit antsy and go for an aggressive play. Well, they will. They still manage to get the opening kill because they leave one of their ops. Of course, a double AWP on the T side to be solo at that monster area. Grucha trying to at least anchor again on towards A, and he's done a magnificent job at that so far. Curious to see if there will be any mollies to block his position. Rotate coming in big time from the side of Honoris. They're banking on it being an A play. As of course we will see a 5-on-4. SMF will be tagged up as well. That's now also moving in, but there will be the first frag for Sammy. SMF of course getting a few more, but he will lose all his teammates. He's all alone. He will go down to Gretsch as well. Another match point for Norris. And they can actually make it work once more.
Grutcher there, a lovely free K from him even at the end, and just well played. Honoris now, they have a chance to finish it off, but just as much, Team Secret have a chance to prolong it, to make it a 4th overtime, to say, no, the party hasn't stopped yet. And I have to say, it is in their best interest, of course, if we're going to the next map, if eventually, the hell that is overtimes does eventually end, then it would be Honoris who have a better advantage, a statistical advantage, who have more aim to rely on. But who knows? Let's see, though. It seems to be a, attempt at water control from Synopsy, and he does seem to get that. But is he going to keep it? Is it going to be Team Secret that can finally push through, that can now grab control here, grab the control and hold the control that they need, and finally get themselves onto a site?
Well, we do see Gretchen now being tagged up from the get-go. A little bit of a wallbang coming in from underpass. But as you said, the aim advantage possibly for Norris, especially with the AWP from Stomp coming out so far. As Taz is moving up with the AK close to Synopsy, and the flashbang will come in. It will be a flash player on that D side, but Taz does not commit. That means another flashbang will be expended. Utility going low on that CT side, but so far no kills being exchanged. Only a little bit of damage. SMF and of course Grutcha being tagged up, and Sammy trying to just delay even more. Taz going for the aggression, will get a kill just at the moment they are throwing utility. However, Reddit Faction will get one in return. Taz now completely flashed, still manages to get Reddit Faction in a return for himself. We have a 4-on-3 situation. However, Percy turns it all around, equalizes the numbers, and Taz needs to really get some kills. He's currently at the barrels. He could have a perfect flank coming in. They don't know he's here. Taz will be fragged by Anarchast. Close by through the smoke, a 3-on-2. And the plan will come out from Team Secret as well, still clinging on for dear life. But Grutcha with the AK, he is close. He is low on HP, but great on skill. And if he just manages to get one, maybe this round will work out for Honoris once more. He's moving in. Ericus does not spot him. He will. It's a flank coming in. Stomp will be tagged, and he will go down as well. Another overtime going to number 4.
Oh, overtime. Oh, overtime. It is that and so much more. The 4th that we will be going into now, the highest number of overtimes that we've seen so far. We've gotten up to a 3rd in one of the earlier matches from yesterday, but now the 4th, and one of the longer games and the longest that we've seen so far. And of course, it does have the advantage. It is terribly exciting, of course. There is no way to predict at this point, who's going to take the map win home here. And we're only playing for the map win here, right? There's still a map coming after this. But, Honoris and Team Secret seem to decide, well, we just love playing the game so much. We want to draw this out as long as possible, and we want to get our, you could almost say we want to get our money's worth.
Well, I think that if we have to say that one player needs to possibly step up a little bit more, it would be possibly Percy on that side of Secret. The only player below the 20 frag line, and for his team, even the sole player below 30 and even 35. So he's a long while back, and on the side of Honoris, it just seems to work a little bit better cohesively. And they will now once more start on that CT side. And the weird thing is, whatever side they're starting on, they do get the advantage. They do get a match point after, and then they lose it again.
They do, but exactly. It is very consistent. It's Honoris that, they get, 2 rounds. They lose 1 round, they get another round. Oh, Honoris, match point. Oh, wait, Team Secret shows up, and it's overtime. Again! Oh, what a surprise.
Miraculous clutches.
Really,
well, this
though.
round, it could have really gone in favor of Honoris.
Miraculous clutches, or just situations where Honoris practically gives away the round, like positioning or just bad timing, I guess, in certain situations where they can't get the frags that they need, and where Team Secret logically, of course, then gets the round win, and eventually, like in this situation, pushes it to a 4th overtime.
Why not? Seems to be nice.
Why not, right?
I'm curious to see if finally Team Secret will be able to get a match win in. At least in this overtime, I do believe they had the advantage at one moment, of course, winning the first round, and afterwards they lost it. So
yeah,
I'm thinking that if you're a very big Team Secret fan, you'll just be sitting there with very, very sweaty hands.
Oh,
because
absolutely.
so far they've just been up against it time and time again. And, well, I'm not sure if we'll be done before the daylight will be away.
Oh, no, 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 we are staying in late, my friend. You know that it is almost, it's getting close to dinner time. And I know, I'll admit, right, I'm a bit of a fat ass. I look at time judging by the fact, okay, how far away am I from getting food in my mouth? But of course, I will say this is almost a certainty. It's perhaps a good thing that we don't have to cast 4 matches today, because we'd know for certain that the 4th one would be, well, either late into the night and unachievable almost. But for now, let's focus.
Look at the odds from Fight.g as well. Still Secret, usually a little bit unfavored going in towards the start of that overtime session, but then managing to get it back, and still they have a very good set of odds in their favor. So I'm curious to see what it will bring, as we do see smokes coming out, and that's an interesting one to cancel out a possible molly. But so far, none being thrown by the CT side. Sammy also having that AWP as well, as of course Stomp, who's gotten a little bit tagged at this moment in time. Also Taz now going relatively low. He's still trying to fight here in the underpass position. He's being flashed out. He will be traded as well, as there will be Red Affection moving in with the AK, getting yet another frag for his team. But, well, it's still a 5-on-4. Anything can happen, and we've seen it happen before, where then Secret has that open kill, then moves in towards that AWP of Stomp, and just loses the round. He's so good, he's so consistent. It seems like they're having trouble to clear him out time and time again, as now Sammy will have to fall back, will be tagged up, but look at his position once more from Grutcha. He's been here before, he's got some great frags, and so far Team Secret is a little bit negligent on trying to peek those angles. Neo, however, currently here at the B water area, and there is a chance that he will be contested either from underpass or from that tunnel. But still, he's playing a very smart and slow game.
Smart and slow, slow and steady. All those things might win the race that Team Secret desperately wants to win just as much as Honoris seems to. And right now they are head-to-head, and we'll see it's Neo. Oh! What? Neo, come on! Commit to your spray until he dies, please. And Arcus logically refrags Neo there with some very shoddy play there. And we'll see now that makes it 3v4. The bomb plant is down. Team Secret has that going for them, along with a one-man advantage now. Samey, though, does get a frag on Synopsy. In the meantime, and Arcus goes down by the hands of Stomp. 2v2, but make that a 1v1, because Stomp and Percy are the last 2 people standing. But the bomb, it's ticking through. Time is not of the essence, well, not on Percy's side here. Or well, it is actually, and there we see the frag coming in. Team Secret now gets the first round of the 4th overtime.
Well, I think I'm running out of paper just writing down the scores of every overtime, as we do see the lead once more go in favor of Team Secret, but this round as well was a little bit wonky. They got a plan down, then they lost a few players. Neo as well, not being spotted out, no pressure whatsoever from the side of Team Secret towards short. And time again, whenever they go for a side, they just don't go for a full control. This time short was left open. Previous times Toilets was really an issue for him. And that really worries me. I'm just not really sure if they can actually pull through, if they keep making these kinds of mistakes.
Understandably so, but it's those kind of mistakes on both sides. Both teams utilize them, both teams make use of, well, other opportunities that arise by the hands of the other team. It's really just a case of going back and forth, you could say, and both teams really capitalize on those things, and that causes them to be so close now. How this is just getting head-to-head time and time again.
Well, that's a risky spray from either party, as Neo tries to commit with, of course, his Silence M4 through that smoke, dealing only 1 shot of damage on towards Synopsy. Still going to be a 5-on-5, but look at the at least ground gain so far for Team Secret, even going for toilet control. I'm amazed. Stomp might not be, as he's moving in with the AWP and will try to commit. Flashbang, very nice right there from Percy. An incredible bounce and an incredible opening kill towards most likely the most important player so far from Honoris. Grutcha still on side, however, as now Neo takes down the Synopsy. It's going to be Grutcha falling quickly, and that means it's a 4-on-3 side control game, but there's going to be a quick rotate to come in as well, as the plan will be tagged up by a nade. As the map with a frag on towards Taz. This could be the second round, but do they check their back? Yes, they will. Percy swooping in on towards Neo. And it's going to be Sammy, the last player remaining in the 1v4. He's moving in, gets 1, but won't get 2. Another round for Team Secret in there. Now really doing well in this fourth overtime. Possibly the overtime they win it, or also possibly the overtime they throw it away.
The overtime to end all overtimes, or perhaps just the overtime to extend it and go to the fifth overtime. We'll see it now. Once again, toilet control here, cleanly being achieved by Team Secret, which helps them get onto the site eventually and win this second round so far. But let's see, right? If things are going somewhat consistent, Honoris will win this round, and then they'll get the next. Then that one will go back to Team Secret, and the other one will be won by Honoris, and we'll go into the fifth overtime. And like that, it just goes back and from. You see a good first tag there by Percy. Lovely shot, Taz taken out. This might be it. This might be Team Secret showing
they had
up.
3 AWPs on the T side.
Oh, that's
They
wild.
did it again, but at least they got the frag and at least swapped around towards those AKs as well, carrying them from the spawn not too far away. Percy now moving up with that more flexible weapon and actually gaining that kill together with SMF. And now they have 2 low HP players. Sammy now with a frag and stop, of course, with the AWP still alive as well. It's going to be a 4-on-3. And looking at that HP, Neo, his nade, might be instrumental.
Let's see, though, once that's or when that's going to be thrown out, because now they're rotating around and they're going back to the A site. And there at the A site, it's
no.
Stomp.
Is it happening?
Is this going to be the nade?
He's moving away, of course. Neo has that nade and is currently on the B side.
Nope.
He's actually used it already. And Percy's now moving off flashbang once more from him, but it's going to be, of course, Anarchist holding the angle with the AWP spray coming in on towards Neo. He will fall. And, well, that's unfortunate. There's only Sammy is alive in a 1v3. Has that, well, P250 to work with, but the AWP won't even get through the smoke. Match point now for Team Secret, the first time, and a 40 bomb already coming in from Red Faction, as well as Anarchist.
This might actually be it. This might be them now finishing it off. They've gotten a very decisive start. They've gotten a very good, well, first 3 rounds, and they all went to them. And I think this is also what we needed to see now. This is going to be what gives Team Secret the edge to get into now, well, the map win. Getting into the second half now, all they need is just 1 round to go to them. 1 round to be for them. And that is a very real possibility now, unless Honoris is going to play it perfectly, is going to have some masterful executes on their T side, is going to get the plans consistently every time and play a very clean after plan. That is the question. That is what we'll have to see. And, well, as they say, we have to see it to believe it.
It's going to be a double up on this CT side, luckily for the side of Team Secret. Of course, Stomp also bringing his to the table. Curious to see if he will once more go for an aggressive peek. He needs to do so. If he doesn't, it's going to be a chance for the side of Team Secret to at least close it out, because so far he's really been well at the opening starts. But going away from that, it's not really been too well. But look at Honoris just muscling their way through toilets. And how is there nobody on the A side to cover this off? This will be a plant and a half. As Anarchist is still on long, but he will soon be flanked, you dare to say, because there's a player slowly coming in. He's going towards Party. The rotate now coming from Team Secret is going to be Honoris already having that bomb down. A 5-on-5 situation, something you don't see all that often. Nades, flashes, everything going through. And Sammy is now holding on. It's a Red Faction with the first frag. Percy going down. It's also going to Synopsy. And Red Faction getting more and more frags. A 4v1. Only Grungy alive. And he will be fragged out by the Deagle. The defuse already coming through. It's going to be a 28-24. Eventually a win in favor of Team Secret. But this one was really hard, but still, they managed to keep their 100% rate.
The hardest fought battle so far, yes indeed. They kept their 100% rate on Overpass, of course, a title for them to defend, and logically so eventually in their hands. But Team Secret here against Honoris. Honoris put up one of the biggest fights that we've seen so far. This is the 4th overtime that we went in, also the, well, highest number of overtimes that we've seen in any map of the tournament. And who knows, there might be many more to come. Honestly, with these two, I also have very, very interesting, well, expectations of them on Dust 2. Dust 2, a map that is going to be a bit more aligned to Honoris, you could say, a bit more for their aim. And, you know, Taz, Neo, they should feel a bit more at home in the map, I dare say. And with that, now I think that there is a very, very interesting map ahead of us. And here, this performance just now by both teams at times was excellent. But in the end, Team Secret here got the upper hand and proved to be the